Today is the part 2 of the Go Box Challenge. We're going to go around and check out some of the other Go Boxes, and we get to see who wins on Tank Radio! So play that awesome intro video! A quick shout out to all my Patreons who makes the show possible. You can support me by joining Patreon in the link below. And on to Tank Radio!
Hi, my name is Paul Estes, K5VOP. I live here in North Texas, Little Elm. I got this Jeep, fixed it up, kind of over the COVID, needed a place to put my tire. So I thought of putting it in here, and then I thought of using that kind of idea to build the radio box and spare battery. So I temporarily, until I get the tire out and redo my box, Yaesu 400 in here for 2 meter 440. I got the 1 1/4 here, and that works off of a tri-band antenna on the right. And then I've got a Yaesu 891 with an HF, the Yaesu ATAS antenna on the left over here. And got my power distribution box. And then an antenna switch. So if you want to use an external antenna like we're doing today, I can plug that in here. And if you need external power, I've got this. So it's really just a basic setup. I want to eventually get the tire out and make this kind of an emergency box with road flares and all that. And then each radio should be on its own drawer, get the battery out, and just make it a lot nicer. But I just like to get out and use it as often as I can because I don't get too many opportunities. So the Go Kit Challenge is a good opportunity to get out and try different things.
So what inspired you to get the Jeep? Because I'm super jealous of it, and you're doing the exact thing I want to do to it.
Well, I've always wanted to upgrade a Willys. I can't afford a Willys. To get a decent one in decent shape, you're talking a couple $10,000. So I got this one and updated it during the COVID. I had 4 or 5 months off of work during the first lockdown, and it was sitting in my garage with a blown head, and I figured the Cherokee, so I got the Cherokee. This is gonna be my Willys project. I love Jeeps anyway, so I spent that few months just updating everything and making it my bug out rig, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. I just had fun with it. I love working on cars, and I've wanted to fix up a Jeep for a long time.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Sure. Thanks.
I'm Scott Croft, N5FKU, and yes, that's a vanity call sign, but I'll let you decipher what it means. So I have a Go Kit here that is all band, all mode capable. 2 different radios in it. The first radio I'll talk about is a PowerWorks 750 that is technically a commercial radio, but I don't transmit on those bands, and it is unlocked with the software anyway. So, in the event of emergency communications, if you needed to get a hold of somebody on FRS or GMRS or any of those bands outside of the regular ham bands, you still have the capability of doing that. So it's for life events, it's good. The other radio is a ecom 7100, which has VHF and UHF in it as well as the HF, but I wanted to keep things separate just in case I wanted to talk on VHF and UHF while working the HF bands. I've got a couple speakers in there that just keeps the noise level down. They're actually not as loud as the internal speakers on the radios themselves. And then I have a diamond half-wave antenna, which is really nice because I don't need a ground plane for it. And then everything's running through a SDR Play software-defined radio that is then connected to a Raspberry Pi driving a PAN adapter display. Then there's also an MFJ switch, so if I transmit on HF, it doesn't blow out the back end of the SDR. And then for HF antenna, I'm connected to a Buddy Stick Pro, which is tuned for 20 meters right now, and we've been picking up a little bit today. The other box is got a TYT 9800 quad band radio in it that communicates on 2 meters, 70 centimeter, 6 meter, and 10 meter, though I don't use it for 6 meters and 10 meters. And it's mainly for just to make me mobile for events like marathons or the balloon events, anything around the community. It has 2 20 amp hour LifePo batteries in it that are hooked to a Meanwell switching power supply. And because the batteries have BMS in them, if power is connected from the outside, it'll charge batteries. When it's not connected, then the radio runs off the batteries.
All right, my name's Jared Holtz. This is a project I've been working on for an emergency preparedness trailer. And it started out as a light tower, stripped everything out of it. And so what I started out with, I've got a 35-gallon water tank in here. This is the fill for it. Built this deck in here to hold everything up. I've got a battery out of a cell phone tower that it's 200 amp hour battery, and it charges off of these solar panels here. Renogy controller. They're readily available just about anywhere. The tent is a Smitty built Overland XL tent. I don't have the annex on it, but there's an annex that zips on right here, comes all the way down the ground, and there's room in there for probably 2 more cots, and gives you room to stand up and get dressed and whatever.
So I see a couple of things that is my usually station at field days events. I see a smoker and a griddle.
So yeah, burns out of there. The little smoker is just a cheap grill I bought at Buc-ee's. Everybody loves Buc-ee's, and it's just a little charcoal grill. So I've got 2 cooking sources come around the side. Somebody had neglected this poor griddle. I just used some cheap drawer handles or drawer hardware from Home Depot, made it so that it slides in and out. I still got a little work to do to that. That runs through here up to my propane tank. This is a 110 inverter, so I can plug it into 110 and charge the batteries. And all my controls here. This disconnects the power from everything, and I got some lights I got to wire in. I got some lights that are inside here that I can pull out and move around, and this is for the water pump. This has a 1,000-watt inverter inside there in case you need to run anything off of a 110.
So you're not a licensed operator yet?
Not yet.
You're coming out here looking for ideas?
What I'm looking for is an idea. How do I make this into a mobile command center? I don't know what you would call it, but yeah, I want to mount a radio set up in here somewhere so it's kind of protected and be able to access it. Maybe put it on a drawer thing like this out the other side so that I can access it inside the weatherproof side of it.
Sounds like a great project, man.
And yeah, it's been a good project.
So I'm Cliff, I'm KG5HHL, and this is ecom 701 that we're sitting in. And ecom 701 is part of our Denton County Amateur Radio Association's list of assets. And we use it for emergency deployments where we need radio operators to interface or coordinate with multiple people, maybe in a search and rescue or some other type of operation, and support them. We actually have a radio in here for county access. We do have internet access. Let's see, we've got HF, which is the lower frequencies, which is what's up here. And we've got VHF, UHF radios across. We can send email from here over radio, track other vehicles, other people. Like this radio right here will actually beacon out and give its location, so we can track that radio.
Are y'all running a digital repeater or is that APRS?
APRS. And then we've got a signal link here to do HF, to do WinLink over HF or digital modes over HF. And then I believe that radio does digital as well. We can pretty much fit 3 guys in here. It's a little crowded, but 3 people in here. We just have the 1 computer station, so if we want more people with more computers, we plug in more laptops.
What events have you rolled this out to?
We have supported the bicycle rallies. This becomes our mobile command center for our bicycle rallies. We tow it out there. We did the turkey roll last year using this. I think we've tried to take it to a few cert events, but sometimes the cert events are done before we can arrive. So.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for taking the time for showing me around.
Certainly.
So top 3, I'm going to start with 3rd place. Oh, I mean, KO5Z.
That guy in here. Here's the prize off the
Guys,
table.
if you could see what it says on here, it looks like KO52.
It's a Z.
I know who it is.
Penmanship.
Yes, I am giving you a hard time about penmanship.
Co 52.
Second place, Kilo Golf 5, Zulu, Nora, Juliet. Hey! Come on up, pick a prize.
Oh, what do I get to pick? Second place.
Anything off of this table except the
for the
cup. Mobile rigs.
There weren't no submissions.
I've decided there were 3 submissions, and actually, Paul, you got the most vote. You got more votes for the truck than Dakara got for the trailer. Pick something from the table, but the cup.
Well, since I got a Jeep, I can always use another one of these.
That's kind of what I figured.
Right there.
I like that. Second place was a tie for mobile. There was a tie between the truck with the radios and the truck with the food. Tell us your name again.
Blackstone.
So Jared is not a ham radio operator. Jared showed up with the tent. And inside that tent, that trailer over there, he has a small grill, he has a rocket stove, and he has a Blackstone. We're gonna take care of making sure he's able to get a radio in that truck and in that trailer. Because if you're bringing the food, buddy, we want to make sure we know where to find you. Yep. All right, and thank you very much to Dakara, Denton County Amateur Radio Association, for bringing ecom 701, the communications trailer, out. It's always good to see that trailer come out. Here's the moment you've all been waiting for. Drum roll. N5 FKU is the People's Choice winner again this year.
Second year.
Second year in a row. Where's Scott? Scott.
He's standing there.
Grab the cup. Pose.
It goes back to your house.
It goes back to my house. Now, see, I specifically put this
I
chain
knew
on
it.
there, so, you know. Yo.
I knew it. So thank you very much and congratulations.
Take your choice from the table.
Pick another prize from the table.
I'll take the rope.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's it. Those are some awesome Go boxes. I really wish I had some. I'm going to try to build some sometime. We'll see. Does my Go kit for POTUS start count? I might try to enter that next year. We'll see. We'll see. And I really want to buy that Jeep. Oh, I was drooling over that Jeep. But thank you for hanging out. The link over here to part 1 if you missed part 1. And there should be a link in the description if you want to watch the full interview with Scott, Kelly, and Michael about the Go Box Challenge and how it came around and what their plans for the future. But until next time, go forth and conquer. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. You can support me on Patreon. There is a link in the description below. And to all my tankers out there, go forth and conquer.